Please turn to page 7 of the Kurukulla Center Prayer. We'll start with Refuge and Bodhicitta. And do the regular Sunday morning prayers through page 37. Until enlightenment seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to gain all may I become Buddha, in the Buddha and Sangha. Until enlightenment I seek refuge, through merit from giving and rest, to gain all may I become Buddha. Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. The founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, Lord of beyond, the flow destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, subduer of the Shakti clan, I prostrate and make offerings and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, subduer of the Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you, who was then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Just like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit and qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one God to thusness I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path of sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated will also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts. To you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout beings. To all worthy of respect, thou embodies as many as all realms atoms in all aspects. With supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha.
A star, a mirage, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, return from the ways of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heat, pure like cloud, O Tsongkhapa, Dharma's omniscient King, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on light throne, lotus and moon, venerable gurus, smile brightly with delight. Praise they hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit, field for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunning mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of that profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever truth that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make venerable Tsongkhapa's essential teaching specially shine forever. Mid say wei ter chen resid, dream yen pei wang po jam pe yang, du pung ma lu zhong zai sang wei dang, gang chen kei pei tsu yang song kapa, lo sang dra pe jabla so wadet, victorious and precious root guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness, bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind, O glorious and precious precious root Guru. Pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Majuriya on Culture Mountain, together with the great assembly of monks and the great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfect with the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage trained who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth up to no aging and death and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in three times by relying on the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false to be known as the truth, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Kayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhiso ha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, the great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, well said. barriers and hindrances shanti kuruye soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacify, free from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness. Bring happiness and well-being here right now. Ground perfume anointed flowers strewn meru forelands, sun and moon adorned, seen as Buddha, healed and offered. Thus may all sentient beings enjoy pure lands. Jetsun Lama, Dampa Kena, Kichur Kuikala, Kiense Trindrine, Jita Champe, Dujenzima, Lazam Yechurki, Shapawatuso, Idam Nurapamadalakam Niryatayami. Chodan Soki Chodam La Jang Chupadu Dani Kyatsu Chi Dani Chumin Yin Pesonam Ki Rola Penju Sangye Drupa Sho. Chodan Soki Chodam La Jang Chupadu Dani Kyatsu Chi Dani Chumin Yin Pesonam Ki Rola Penju Sangye Drupa Sho. Chodan Soki Chodam La Jang Chupadu Dagni Kyapsu Chi Dagi Chulyin Di Pesonam Ki Rola Penchu Sangye Drupa Sho.
That also maybe sometimes two people can share. I will. 이게 변이가 더 변이가 더 이제 더. Maybe two people can share. 망할래. Also, maybe we have not enough people can share. Good morning, everybody. It's cold day today. Then people can share. Your one here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then today is a very special day about Buddhism. Everybody now, right? Sir? It's working? Yeah. Then we call baptism, Tibetan call baptism. I don't know English. Buddha come back from God realm to human realm, like that. Descending. Anyway, usually we organize today in the center. We taking the precepts. This time everybody forgot. Then we don't do group. Usually we do special Buddha's special days, particular times we do precepts we do in the center. But this time we didn't organize. And how many people took that precept this morning? Good, yeah, she knows. Yeah, many people doesn't know because maybe do you hear? Maybe it's too low. Can you hear? Even people are not possible to come to hear that. If you put the emails, then you can remember that everybody forgot. Then she remembered she got another time she like. Then I took this morning. Then we didn't do that. Anyway, then maybe today I'm not talking about my working English. You can say English better. Then that there is Sanjigi, and that there was tuning on it. There was, and there was tuning on the man that thinking the man kanji. That's Sanji Jumni Degan Deva. That I don't get never simply didn't kill yours.
So today is a very special day in Buddhism because of Buddha Shakyamuni coming back to this world after visiting the 33 God realm to repay the kindness of his mother.
그래서 다 산지 좀 되는데 다 나도 마치 나바janja인다 다 나도 시당하고 그러was.
So since we are all Buddhist, most of us are Buddhist, and we all know who Buddha Shakyamuni is, right?
근데 다 당보다 당연들이 탐기 두지에서 아닌데 산지 좀 되는 준이 나 때는 막다 송샤다가 아니 직들에서 배샤들에서.
And so this text that you are given now, to recite later, this is it's called the great praise of the 10 acts of Buddha. Is it 10 acts or 12 acts? 10 acts. Commonly we know as the 12 great deeds of Buddha. We usually say 12 great deeds of Buddha, and here it says 10 acts. So.
근데 말이야 다 간제만제 산지 좀 된데 세야 돼 식당 다 지금 가와 몸보징 해라야 아니 다 새로 제외 되려야 아니 산지가 조건적인 제바되는 담벌라 뱀네 뜻이 된 저기 있는 선배 다 된지 강사지 말해서.
So this again, like it says, it's a deeds, right? So deeds means or act, like acting, performing, right? So he only acted as being born, but he was not really being born. By the power of karma and delusion, he's already a Buddha. He's already enlightened. So many eons before, he already gained enlightenment. And so during the time when there were many Buddhas gathered together to discuss about who's going to go where to benefit sentient beings, and Buddha Shakyamuni volunteered to come in this world at the time of degeneration, when the lifespan of human being is only about 100 years old.
데레다다 산지 안에 똥짜니 산지 직동이 짜니 와 말해 단담을 배기 와 말해서 대나가 안에 산지 좀 된데 다 남지 시와 샤자상기 남다 산지 시와들에서.
So they said that there will be like 1,000 Buddhas coming in this world during this fortunate eon, and Buddha Shakyamuni is the fourth one to come.
안 딩가라 다 산지 숨단 내 선발에 뱀네다 가서 뒤질다 소용 말이더라.
So before Buddha Shakyamuni there already came 3 Buddhas. We didn't have a fortune to meet them or their teachings.
당보된 고관지 세도 회수 샤자다 바스로.
And so I don't know the name of those Buddhas in Sanskrit, but anyways, in Tibetan we call it Sertup, Kowajik, Sertup, and then Wosung, and the fourth one is Shajatupa.
근데나다 산지 좀 된데야 다 라이 날라 슈디베가다 다 겐지 멜럼지 왕가 다 domlama 아니 다 주dom가 베베 갑라야 아니 코랑 다 가데가 주들한테 아니 라서로 추송 쉬고 걸어야 아니 자서 샴방고 보고 그런 거 잡라 봐 그네는 그나다 말 아니 담을 배워야 말이지.
And so before he came into this world, he was up in Tushita Pure Land, and Tushita Pure Land where he was like the king or the leader, of that Pure Land, the main master, teaching to the Bodhisattvas there. And so Buddha Maitreya, took his place. He substituted Buddha Shakyamuni, and then Buddha Shakyamuni came down to this world to teach.
어드네 들이다 대네 야가 야가기 아니 다 여러 야가로 와 아니 마 그러고 지말람데다 아니 잡고 세상이가 세모 다세 센트로에 말이더라.
And so then he, performed the deeds of, of transferring from Tushita Pure Land to this world by conceiving in the womb of the king at that time.
잡고 세상세.
Let's go King Sezangse and the queen, the Yumalhanse, so in the end to their conceptions, yeah.
아니 권이 세든 전에 다 아니 아마데다 단 좀 공부도 소에 말했어.
And so soon after she gave birth, to Buddha Shakyamuni, then she passed away, at his very young age.
아니 다 깨기도 말아서 봐. 아니 마마 제테네 다 공야 다 난손이 소에 말했어.
And then there's his like aunt, so who took care of him, who took the place of the mother queen, and then there's other the other 8, like the babysitters, who took care of him and raised him.
아니 공로 제네 공로 쭈르고 발라야다 아니 이게 놀고라 저베다 린이 자성 다 정말 말이더라.
And it said that from the age of 8 until 16, he studied all the the common studies like the grammars, the poetries, the literature, and so forth.
아니 대갑 니마치래야 공기 아니 쇼케네 공다바 딱 곰자되게와 자보고 세네 그런 거 빠베. 단데 파 이름 보셔나 된다랍도 쇼르상 그래서네 다 빠베가 아니 요보다 볼라야 창사 잡아레스.
And so then so the king witnessed that his son was so much into meditation, and so like almost spending whole day meditating, and so fearing that if he doesn't do something he might become a monk, then he made the son, the prince, to get married.
아니 룸바들라다 분명히 젠타다다 trade게 아니 부모 산재마로 근데 다 부모지 간지 아니 다 자세가 셀라 그래 이음라 and
so anyway, so she, and then they met the match, for him, and then they got married, and then they even had a son, called Rahula. And then from then until 29 years old, until he was 29 years old, he ran the kingdom. 다 조보시대 냠도 어느 졸업해가 갑라야 다 제가나지게 동아서 자성 세네당 고발한 게 주제와 말이지. And so one day when he went to tour around his kingdom, seeing the sufferings of aging, sickness, death, and so forth, then he generated a very strong sense of renunciation. We talk about it. You understand? We talk about Buddha Shakyamuni's history. What is it? That tene, and they should not that jabu, that jaganto, that. And then, so in the night, he it was very strongly guarded. The palace was very strongly guarded, but with the help of his chariot, he escaped. He managed to escape, from the palace, and into a forest. And 대신에 아니 최대 남다가 좋은데 아니 그런 게 다 그런 거 봤던데. And so he shaved his own head in front of this stupa called Chotenamda, and then at the bank of the Ganges River, he meditated there for 6 years.
아니 다 싫어도 마신데 다 구수 싫어 또 차도 말해서
And at that time, he didn't eat much, so he was very, he became very skinny. His body became very weak.
뒤에 가려야 아니 열 뒤기 아니 다 뱀에 가서 지금 간지 바 직동게 오마다 바자라 바제 오마다 바줄라 바지 오마다 바치라는데 이 바지가 오마데 아니 나라 dance들이 망보 땀내야 아니 다 피워야 말이스 산지라
바자갈.
바 직동 오마다 바자라르 통주
바자라 통줄.
바제 오마다 바치라 주 바지 오마다 바치라 다 자동 루루지네 아니 손에 다 바지 오마다 투주네 아니 산지 좀 내라 다 dance들이 망보 들이담니다 포피워야 말이스
So it said that she got the milk from 1,000 cows, and then gave it to the 100 cows, and then got the milk from the 100 cows and gave it to the 10 cows, and then got the milk from the 10 cows and gave it to one cow, and then she took the milk from one cow and then made porridge like with the rice and then mixed it with the honey and so forth and made a very nice porridge and then offered to Buddha.
아니 뭐라게 담보 삼발라야 아니 다 자보 임칼 자오 전에 되는데 자오 전에 될 거라서 다 뭐나 그냥도 장하자고 너 사람이 담보 끊는 데네 레스와
So first her motivation was to get attracted to him, make him attracted to her so that she can marry him because she knew that he was the prince Siddhartha.
얘나 아니 뭐다 되네 아니 보여도 갑라야 아니 다 사이 담대지야 아니 다 자오진들도 그게라야 하는 참수대요 그래서 다 아마 내 피용어서는 콜라페나다 자오진들 아니 알아도 좀 사서 몰랐네 다 뭐는 게지 달로 받아내 간지 뭐 엄마한테 배네 아니 다 산지가 자오진들 가르 삼고는 다 쇼서 뭐는 거 뭐는 잡아 말이지.
And so that was her initial motivation, but later when she found out that he has already given up the lay life and has become monk, then she changed her mind and she wished for him to be successful in whatever he's doing, and with that thought then she offered him that porridge.
아니 되네 아니 자도지들 취배네 아니 상주식을 통다 아니 자송 자시세들 아니 자나로 지스 아니 그 자든데 다 아니 그런 거 수복 가리면 가리 싸무게 신차서 왔는다 자디 야랑게 메스 상마제 받는 담자네 되니 다 사대에 저거 정이 좋게 근데 사제 왜 말해서 공고로 좀 수업되는 지금 봐지.
And then when he was about 37 years old, he went to Bodh Gaya, and near the Bodhi tree there, he begged for some grass from this grass seller called Tashi, and then he made a cushion of that grass, and then he made a promise not to move from that sitting, even if he has to die or even if he becomes like a stone or tree or like a wood, he's not going to move. So he made that promise, and then he started to meditation. And then and then while meditating, then on the 15th of the 4th month of the lunar calendar, in the morning of that day, he became enlightened.
어디지? 어디니 봐다 드니잖아 사제. 아니 드니 샤보집지 셰브들 셰글 때라 아니 다 주마선에 주대가 말했어.
So after he became enlightened, he didn't go right away, to teach, but he stayed, for 49 days without teaching.
아니 대가라 당근에 지금 드스다의 추징에 녀석도 다때 공에서 지금 누세네 간지 다 주도가 말했어.
And so he said, there is I have found this teaching that's like a nectar, but nobody who is going to be able to understand it, and so I'm going to just remain in the forest.
되니 아니 다 라이옹 자자라 아서바 남간에 다 주나고 그래서는 담으라 다 되잖아. 그걸 때는 다 와라나들 아니 주방보고 어디서 되어res.
And so when the gods, like the king of the gods, like Indra and Brahma, they saw that Buddha wasn't teaching, then they went to make requests to Buddha. by making offerings, of the of a victory, banner and so forth. So the wheel of victory and so forth. So they made offerings of that, and then requested, for him to turn the wheel of Dharma. And then he went first. He went to Varanasi, and gave teaching, to the first 5 disciples there.
아니 되네 아니 다 도제들 앞에네 아니 샤고 풍부르다 아니 다 중고 니바 콜로 니바 좀 소만 말했어 다 양다가 주의도 제주나 들어와.
And so that was the first turning of the wheel of Dharma, and then of course there were so many teachings. But and then the second turning of the wheel of Dharma, one of the major teachings, was held at in a place called Rajgura near Bodh Gaya, on the Vulture's Peak mountain. So there he gave the second turning of the wheel of Dharma on the profession of wisdom.
아니 대나 대념도 다 빠데 레불라야 아니 빠데진 콜로기 아니 양사지가 저와 지기야 나가 주송화래서 아니 배야까지는 되는 요소와.
And then at the same time, when he was turning the second wheel of Dharma in other place, in different place in India, he gave teachings, on the Tantra. He gave the Kalachakra initiation, and at some other place at the same time when he was teaching Professional Wisdom Sutra at the Vulture's Peak mountain.
어디지 되네 아니 양바잔다 아니 단 콜론 담아세 다들 송만 말했어.
And then then he gave the third teaching, third turning of the wheel of Dharma, in place called Vaishali.
어디 또 둘째 다 중국만 잡아 솜송 아니 되네 다 간제 공로 자세 자치 갑을 말해야 될라데 다 공부도 남바된 두 송만 말했어.
And then who also by teaching turning the 3 major wheel of Dharma. Then at the age of 81, he performed the deed of passing away into Nirvana and at Kushinagar.
어디 말자 다 데링아도 라밥 대신 살다 컨디션을 나들어. 아니 산지 좀 되는 다 아마 아니 공부 전에 다 라이엘이야 계속 말했어. 근데 산지 좀 되는데 공로 십시 세직 값라야. 아니 라이엘이야. 다 그러니까 아메 주에 들어라 주 뭔가 다 야네 야 나왔음 법송에 말했어.
And so how this happened, this story about descending from the 33 God realm is that when his mother passed away, and she was born in the God realm, called the 33 God realm, and in order to pay the kindness of his mother, then he went to the God realm, 33 God realm, to teach Dharma there to his mother, and so during he spent the entire the summer retreat there in the 33 God realm, and then after that he returned, and this is the day that he returned back to the human realm.
아니 되네 마 백교원으로 되니 뒤가기다 자기 잡고서 진행보다 잡고 사자라서 변 사자라 대화시라 여완다니 아니 공원서 다 야가 나왔음 그래야 아니 산지 좀 되는 만제네 공도 뭔가 볼래야 딱 계셔 좀 말해서 산지 가오시래서 뭐.
And so the reason why he came back is there this very devoted king called King Bimbisara, who had a very strong faith in Buddha, and during that time, the summer retreat time, they didn't see the Buddha at all, and so they went to ask Mongoliana, one of the closest disciples of the Buddha, about Buddha's whereabouts.
아니 간소 다 산지샤 책인도 우세네 저랑기 다 점들라 때네 아니 다 삼지 좀 되는 마 된데시로 지세네 콜라지네 아니 코든라 때네 다 아니 배다게위 아니 유신이니가 단 산지 좀 되는 마 아니 니야라 배용한 말이스.
And so they requested Mongoliana to use his miraculous power, which he's well known for having a great miraculous power. And so using your miraculous power, please go and invite Buddha to come and teach us again. And then so he through his miraculous power, then he went to the 33 God realm and requested Buddha to come back. And so this is the day on the 22nd of that this month, the day of this month that he returned back to the human world.
근데다 라법 대신에서다 근데 말했어.
So this is the special occasion of descending from the God realm.
근데다 간소 산지 좀 되는데 다 대신 제조지 아니 상제와다 아니 대신에 사가대에 저거 쫑아 지목을 대신에 아니 배다 두배 저것이 아니 라와 바이브 대신에 배다게 제반유신이 그런데도 대신 제시라 이 말이에요.
And so there are many special days like the day he was born and the day he gained enlightenment and passed away. So those are the 3 days that happen at the same time, on the same day, not at the same time, but on the same day, on different times. And then there's this special occasion of turning the wheel of Dharma when he first started teach. That is, so the enlightenment happened on the 15th, on the full moon day of the 4th month, and the turning of the wheel of Dharma happened on the 6th day of the the 4th day of the 6th month, and then this descending from the Tushita Pure Land happened on the 22nd of the 9th month. And so on these special occasions, on special days, if we accumulate any virtuous action, then that multiplies by 100,000.
대면서 다 제일 개발을 기재다 대리 다 자가당 표도 가실라야 다 대리 아니 이샤도 다 가시상이 가시 대리죠. 가지 넘바 쳐서기 다 가시 빨리다 상득지 나와 뚜뚜 말어 뭐지 다 관계가 뒤뒤에 다 손대나게 그래서 봐 넘바 쳐서기.
So all the Buddhists from all this different tradition, different culture, Buddhism, they all celebrate this day. So the day of Buddha's descending from Tushita Pure Land. So it can be at different times, like because of the time difference in the world. In some part of the world it happened yesterday. In some part of the world it's happening today. So because of the time difference, but on the same day, right? So all these different people from the different Buddhist community are engaging in virtuous action to accumulate merit. And so we can think about all those virtuous actions accumulated and rejoice on that.
전제이다 다 니마들이 매우 망보고지 용내 대야다 대저 소조고 넘발래야다 오다 개와 섬지 뭐저봐 사자 가와이나다 몸차 몸보사고 그래서.
And so many people are taking, like I said earlier, 8 minor precepts, and some are even doing the fasting retreat and so forth. So there are hundreds and thousands of people accumulating a great amount of merit today.
그래서 알아서 간트죠. 알아서 가 제와마데 아니 현지 제와도 지생하지는 간도 개와 강념도 더 보여래서.
And so of course we should also do whatever we can from our side, and then at the same time also rejoice over the virtuous actions created or accumulated by all those people by doing such and such practices.
아니 사제 고송 투지 연대 전에 다 대화 끼지마 직제와나 다 되게 개월랍치 뭐시라서 그래서.
So by remembering the qualities, the excellent qualities of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind, if we develop even a moment of faith in the Buddha, then that accumulates a great amount of merit.
그래서 다 간도 남주 양자라 아니 다 산지 좀 내가 주니에서 간도 마찬가지 그래서.
So to our common knowledge, well known to the people, there are these 12 deeds of the Buddha.
아니 뒤는 다단 드링아서 내가 빼자되나 봐지 망치는다 같이 봐지 채워서 왔어. 이나 당도 잠깐만 지나 안에 당부 깨운 거 마시면 이제 와서야지 송고 따때 가들어 쉬게 되까 그래서 라이프도 막 똑가워서 공식 그래서.
And so the first one is the deeds of descending from the Tushita Pure Land and conceiving in the mother's womb. So there's like the 12 known as 12 deeds. The 12 common deeds that Buddha did, Buddha performed.
아니 이 바다 가데는 법인자 와서 다 가데는 막다 배고요 그래서. 선바도 임질로서 쇼 봐서. 그래서 개왕가 마셔도 다 가들어 쉬게 되까 그런다. 뭐데. 대마요 배고요 말. 라이프도 막 똑고 시당 내가 진짜 뜻한테서 말아 때는데 웃으러 와.
So there are different way of counting. So one way is is the first one is where his previous the performance or deeds of his previous life. The deed of his previous life is that he was residing in the Tushita Pure Land as the king of that Pure Land.
아니 바다 다 가데는 법인자 와서.
And then the second is the deed of transferring from the Tushita Pure Land to the human world.
안에 숨바다 임지를 수주 봐. 다가는 것도 맞아 주인 봐.
And then the third one is conceiving in the womb, of the mother.
안에 시와대 딱 꿀다 봤다 맞.
And the fourth one is the deed of birth.
안에
taking
나와대
birth.
다 존라트 진짜 와 생길래. 안에 저기나랑 기빈다 와 생길래.
And then the fifth one, is the deed of the youthful activities, like taking the lessons on all those archeries and so forth.
안에 두바대 안에 좀 가듯이 인자 왔다 저긴데 봐 좀 나와래 틴데 거들에서.
And and then the sixth one is the performance, or the deed of getting married and so forth.
안에 덤바다라도 쉬는데 와서.
And then the seventh one is the deed of becoming monk.
당게 다 나셔는 그 배치 봐서. 안에 대화대 까와시변자 와 루루 까와시변자 그래서.
And then the eighth one is the deed of taking on the austerities, like the hardships, of going into meditation and so forth.
안에 거와대 뜻투변자 왔다 직tem이다 뭐다 뭐마이다 받지 못 받아도 받대 버려서.
And the ninth one is the deed of subduing the demons.
안에 쪼와대 상지변자 와서.
The tenth is the deed of achieving enlightenment.
안에 주주바대 중국어변자 와.
The 11th one is the deed of performing turning the wheel of Dharma.
안에 중이대다 나도 더자설라 반 저와마 답에 때지네 양을 때면서 와서 되는데 중이 나도 그래서.
And then the 12th one, is the deed of passing into nirvana, to show impermanence, of the life, to the disciples.
어 근데자 다대 상지 좀 내되는데 중이에서 남진강도 영도 손대 두스레서 와.
So those are the 12, the common deeds of the Buddha that is well known, to the people.
어떻게 담아도데 샤베다 나도 배우다 이니가도 와서 다 담아도 배우는데 따르보다는 갈래진 내용이 있어. 근데 다 전업 쳔버는데 손바보데 안에 좁은 직tem 공부해야 돼. 다 단다. 누구까지 다 그리고 주지서가 남는데 다 저마 선대가 돼 버렸어.
And so we're going to recite this, the praise, of the Buddha's deeds. And so first we're going to recite in Tibetan, which you have the phonetic, right? So you can recite in Tibetan in the phonetic, slowly with the tune. And then after that we're going to recite in English. So this is a very inspiring text written by Jiden Gombo Chub, so one of the founder of the Kagyu tradition.
안에 다 저도 니
The Kagyu tradition.
너 저도 단다 제주디 꼴라면도 심바 가신다 대홀아야 특제 가시긴도 저 아니 공부 너들 것은 특제 가신도 있어.
And so this text doesn't have, but there are other texts, which has some verses composed by Nagarjuna.
오케이. 되는 가서 딱 별에 가면 뭐 갈래진도 있어.
So first we recite in Tibetan.
아니 관계가 다 산지 좀 내가 고송 투지 연대 첸다 소소야 대나지 영어 쇼삼에 아니 다 뭐는 되잖아요. 아니 산이 내가 좀 담아대 도진대 그래서.
So don't think about what you're going to do tomorrow. Rather, think about the qualities, Buddha's, the excellent qualities of Buddha's body, speech, and mind, and then wish, for yourself and all sentient beings to just become like him. With that wish, then recite this prayer.
오케이. Prepare the text. 방금 도사한테 담게 두지해야 된다 그래서 와.
So we're going to recite, from where it says "tapke tuje." You see the English phonetic. In English, it says with skillful means.
담게 두제 샤제 르존로 옌제 모도 대제 본종바 세제로모 다우조베고 샤제자보 헬라샤세 강계담보 I have that. Now this is a part of the composed Jitin Chobang Gombo. If I have a couple of words, this is a composed Nagarjuna, but they don't have English. Anyway, oh, now I have to English, I forgot. And Thai English, good. Yeah, read the English slowly. Everybody also thinking about meaning. Now you got to really understand the meaning. Tibetan, maybe you don't know what's going on, but they mix influence your mind and your voice, the Tibetan, language. Even Holiness always say, if you want to study complete Buddhism, no complete, then you have to, the Tibetan language is the best, the language you can learn about Buddhism, complete. Therefore, we can make influence your voice. Maybe next life you will want to Tibetan, also study Buddhism. We become very smart. Then now do English, the meaning, you understand the real the meaning, then thinking about Buddha's quality, what he did. This shows for us, you have to do also same as me.
Deeds.
Deeds means it shows for us what you have to do. The words coming, even the Buddha, he will be go pathway. They show he call also, show us impermanent. Then slightly start to Tibetan, or not English. Okay?
With skillful means and compassion, you were born in the Shakya clan. Unconquerable by others, you vanquished Mara's hordes. Your physical form was splendid like a mountain of gold. To you, the king of the Shakyas, I pay homage. You I shall praise who first awakened the mind of enlightenment. then completed the accumulations of merit and wisdom. And now in this age, though the vast sway of your actions have become the Lord and protector of living beings. Homage to you that having taught the gods, knew the time had come to tame the human world, and descending from the god realm like a great elephant, foresaw the family of your birth and entered the womb of Maya Devi. Homage to you, Prince of the Shakyas, born after 10 months, in the auspicious Lumbini grove where Brahma and Indra revered you, your supreme marks, proving you were destined to be enlightened. Homage to you, lion among men, in all your youthful vigor, displaying your prowess in the games at Aga Magana, where you triumphed over the proud contestants, so that no one could stand as your rival. Homage to you who, to comply with worldly convention and avoid all misdeeds, took on a queen and courtiers, and by acting with skillful means, so you ruled the kingdom. Homage to you who saw the samsara is wholly futile, renouncing the life of a householder, and traveling through the sky, ordained yourself with the Vishuddha stupa. Homage to you who, intent on persevering till enlightenment, for 6 years practiced austerities on the banks of the Nairanjana, and taking diligence to its ultimate perfection, attained the supreme samadhi. Homage to you who, seeking to make meaningful all your efforts made throughout beginningless time, sat unmoving in the Vajra posture beneath the Bodhi tree in Magadha, and awakening into true Buddhahood, attained perfect enlightenment. Homage to you who in your compassion gazed at once upon living beings, and turned the wheel of Dharma in sacred places like Varanasi, and established disciples in the 3 vehicles. Homage to you that destroyed evil-minded opponents by defeating the 6 teachers of the Tripakas, Devadatta, and the rest, as well as the Maras in Varanasi. You are the mighty sage victorious in battle. Homage to you who performed great miracles in Shravasti, unmatched in their splendor in all the 3 realms, and through the offerings made by gods, humans, and other beings, caused the teachings to prosper and increase. Homage to you who, to spur the lazy on to the Dharma, left your body through though immortal and like a Vajra, and passed on to Parinirvana, in the pure abode of Kushinagar. Homage to you who, to show that you had not in reality perished, and so that beings of the future could gain merit, emanated a wealth of relics and caused your remains to be divided into 8 portions.
Everybody understand what he did? And then after Buddha passed away, they have 8 special relics. And the relics, right? The 8 relics, then that time king of the India, the 8 kings responsible, they built the 8 different style stupas. Then still, we have Tibetan, we have 8 stupas, usually main common stupa, 8 stupa.
So there are 8 different type of stupas, the Enlightenment stupa, the descending from the Tushita Purana stupa, and so forth. So there are kind of 8 different kind of stupas. And then, of course, it is very meritorious to build the images, the statues, stupas, and then, of course, the scriptures of the Buddhas.
And the Tanda Sanjigan, Sanjigan, Sengune Tanigata, Semune, the Janalaya, Pejilaya, and Chutayuta, Timura Sanjigan, Sengune, they also love to do
so. One of the relics, that's a Buddha's tooth. They said the tooth of the Buddha, the actual one, the real one from that time, is inside the stupa in China, in Beijing.
Beijing,
and it said that that's the most holy, object in the world.
어든지 다 드네 맞다 다 간지 다 단다데 다 드리 상제기 아니 상제는 담을 치고 거든에 양다 라이라 야페 아니 마다 베비가 다 드지 쳐버진 바레스.
So anyway, so today is, like I said earlier, that today is the special day when the Buddha came into this world and performed the deeds of gaining enlightenment. After that, he went to visit his mother in a 33-go realm and then came back, to this human world. So this is the day marking his coming back, returning back, to this world.
아니 상제기 추송이 참말아야 아니 저당치 다 망치야 송한테 빠지 빨리 더 송사레스 아니 미세 더 망보지한 상스케 더 송사레스.
And so Buddha taught in the Sanskrit language. There's many taught in the Pali language and Sanskrit languages.
아니 단당한소 따와나 베나 타일랜드, 버마, 코리아 아니 자pan 단도서 베트남도 망치 아니 그거 빨리 송도 왔어.
And so many of the other countries like Thailand, Burma, and so forth, all they use the Pali language.
어떤데도 다 간소 배획이 단다 제대야 돼다 상지 좀 되가 상스케 돌아 송샤바데 벽에 투전에 다 대인 송교를.
And so, so now in Tibetan, we have all these teachings, translated into Tibetan. They was translated from Buddha taught in the Sanskrit language. So all those Sanskrit language that Buddha taught, and they were all translated into Tibetan.
간제 상지 좀 되게 추진 콜로 만다고 숨 송화데 다 늦어 수수 삼바단 터니 마송샤바 되냐레스.
And so these three different turning of the will of Dharma Buddha gave is all according to the mind, the dispositions, the mentality of the sentient beings.
아니 상제가 샘제기 딱 감도 못 받쳐서 또 요반자 딱 가리 저거요나 가리 무거요나 저 대단한 송교레스.
So since Buddha knows the mentalities and the dispositions, thoughts and of the sentient beings through his clairvoyance, and so he teaches them according to their mentalities.
당 안주 즉 샘제 봐주고 감도 못 받. 다다 또 오면다 계제 신이신이 미가 공로 산다고도. 안 소수 공로 소수 끌로 지도 잡면다 소수 계제 신이다 남주도 공로 산다고도 용도 와.
So in order to benefit the sentient beings in a right way, you have to understand their mentalities, what they're thinking, what they want to hear, what they don't want to hear, and so forth. So we don't have that clairvoyance to understand that, and then we, even though we speak with the best of motivation, but then not knowing what is best for them, we say the things that offend them. So without knowing them. So therefore, the best way to benefit them is to understand there. So therefore, it is very important to be clairvoyant.
어때? 근데 이보다 다 상지 좀 되게 가르쳐서 치통받아. 득바체 미자제 개와 포도서 봐야. 랑게 셈내요 던 상지 땜바이. 다데 소송레스.
And so that's like when you're trying to benefit others, teaching them, speaking to them, so trying to understanding from their perspective and then speaking according to that. But anyway, the main part of the teachings of the Buddha is to subdue one's own mind. So like Buddha said, not committing any non-virtuous action, and committing only virtuous action, subduing one's mind. That is the teachings of the Buddha.
그리고 득바체야 마자시들 득바세 간rel라 버린 나스 득바세 간rel레스.
So what is the non-virtuous action that Buddha advised not to commit at all?
아니 제주단 라면 나도요. 간지 아니 젤라 네스지 삼바들 득바라고 그래서. 노치는 삼바.
Of course, there are many different kinds of non-virtuous actions, but basically it is the ill will, so the intention to harm others.
그리고 아니 다 먹여왔지 샤와라 슈와이나 주워가는데 먹여왔잖아 그래 득바잖아 그래서.
And then, of course, in general, we know those 10 non-virtuous actions, right? So in any of the, if you engage in any of those 10 non-virtuous actions, that's a non-virtuous action.
간지 다 가서 오라와나 젤라 콘로산다 대득바레스 젤라 차도산다 대득바레스 아니 소소 잡에 양화도 전에 대득바레스 아니 오다 둘라고 해서.
And so, in short, even having negative emotions in our mind, such as anger, jealousy, the attachment, and so forth. So all these are non-virtuous action. And so, not by understanding that those are the non-virtuous action, and then controlling oneself not to engage in that, is called virtuous action, or called engaging in virtuous action.
그래서 당 간지 메가와 주인 쳔베다 디바가 마예스 당도 라바레스 디바 마예스.
And so the advice is not to commit any non-virtuous actions, and including the 10 non-virtuous actions.
디바 제나 바조를 하는 거다 저 전화를 하는 거다 라바레스.
So if we create non-virtuous action, of course this is going to harm others, but it's mainly going to harm oneself.
그와 대변으로 라바이나 공도 맞아 공도 사나 지난기 시대 라는 거다 라바레스.
For example, it says don't become angry. If you become angry, then you will lose your peace.
다 대대 눈은 가서 따수som다 이래스.
So whether that's true or not, we can think about it ourselves.
아니 tra도시라 맞지 tra도시나 아니 저랑 가디나 딱 감르고요 말스라 말레스.
It says don't be jealous. If you're jealous, then you will not feel comfortable.
그래서 근데 세나처럼 맞지 세나처럼 저 가디나 딱 그러고 다 수수는 나가 말세야 그러 세나처럼까지 롱하고 쇼도 말세야 그러지.
And so don't be miser, So if you are very miser or stingy, then you will not be able to enjoy the wealth that you have.
그래서 maybe not 어디지 또 맞지 또 저나 아니 저다 공로라고 생각하고 봐 지는 내가 제가 또 멘트가 됐다 저랑기 대화 좀 그러고 저한테 맞지 들라버리 다 대대 누르면 알아서 소소 싸움 당고 그래서.
So by becoming angry, and of course you may harm other person, right? Or if you become angry, if other person have to face you becoming angry, and they also feel unhappy, they feel uncomfortable being around you, and so forth. So that already has caused, harm to others. But that depends, right? But actually, to oneself is definitely going to destroy one's peace of mind. So that definitely harms oneself.
Okay. 다 태강수 레동강수 산지 주는 거라서 막 아니 나라 대화 진행에 강하려고 지나들 싸먹고 지나서 때 짜따지지도 라고 그랬어.
And so that's what Buddha said, and whether it's really true or not, we can understand from our own experience. That's why Buddha said, just because you have faith in the Buddha doesn't mean you have to accept everything Buddha said it, and you have the rights to check whether Buddha said, and if you think it is right, then you can accept it.
다 개와표도 초바시 되나 아니 당보치 잠조요 봐. 죽도 다 지가로 응주요 봐. 아니 담아 딱 모아요 봐. 그 제고 그래서 개와표도 초바셔야 돼. 요즘 좀 상해시.
So and then it says create profit virtuous action. So the profit virtuous action means a complete virtuous action. So the complete, to make it complete, it has to have the initial part, which is the motivation, right? So you have to have a proper motivation, and then the actual part, which is the action, right? Creating the virtues. So whatever virtuous actions you are engaging in, you do that, perform that properly, and then at the end, the end part, which is the dedication. So and then dedicate it for the purpose, for a proper purpose. Yeah, so for a good reason, you dedicate for that. So these are the three things that makes the virtuous action complete.
다 랑그 셈의 요소는 산지 땜바 예스. 산지 땜바 다 랑그 셈도 와드레스.
And so then finally, subdue one's mind. Subdue, tame one's mind. Yeah, so taming one's mind, that is the teachings of the Buddha.
다 랑그 셈 요소인데 단단 가지고 셈대 가나서 셈게 원도 셈 요모 원도 그래서.
So what do you mean by subdue one's mind? So like right now, we are controlled by our mind, right? And our mind is controlled by the delusions.
가나서 셈게 가지고 가르치지는 가지고 수보가 같이 되면 도와서.
So it is our mind, who decides what we need to do, right? We can't make decision on our own.
셈게 데링아 가지진 로 삼잖아. 수보 로야로 와서. 셈게 데린 로면서 다 내야로 와서 또 셈레 와서.
So if the mind says, okay, I want to go somewhere today, then body will follow, right? And you go to that place. And if the mind says, oh no, I'm going to stay home, and then you stay home, right? So it's the mind, what tells you what to do.
어떤데다 셈대 요모 장원도 그래서 셈대.
And then mind follows the attachment or delusions, right? And delusions in general, and then like the attachment and so forth.
어떤데다 대만로스 가디나 뇨모만 그 선바치네 소소 대장마다 만들어봤지.
And so like the mind says, the body follows the mind, and then the mind says, oh, I like this, so attached to that, and because of that, the mind wants to do that, the attachment. So mind follows, the attachment like that. So anyway, so subduing the mind is not following the delusions, making the mind not follow the delusions.
pena ye yesare ngaso chape jangwa kanji chabasa de kanji me kadina ji pomudawro go marsero ngaso.
So, so the attachment is very, a common thing that makes our mind, to make the decision and doing this and that, right? And so attachment is not only talking about the sexual attachment, the attachment for desire for anything is attachment.
mandola choshe maybe ongi ta ngaso kanga nasa janjata ta ngaso lamda kewa marwas chonsola ya close na tulo kase yos chonso ta dirine tsebe pashi lo jade gana pashi naange pashi kanga yor sambudos sawa chu manyona.
And so, for example, like, the attachment, we always follow the attachment, and the attachment says, to the mind, oh, I want to have this, I want to have that. And then the mind follows, mind thinks that, and then the body goes and buys it. Like, speaking frankly, with, to you, like, because we're all like a family, right? I can speak frankly to you, right? So, like, most of you all have, clothes in your clothes, in your closet, enough for maybe next 100 years.
Including me, I have also a lot of clothes, not just you guys. I have a couple of shoes, couple this ones. I have this two, one's here, one's my room. There is a kanji nganzo same they go to choshe me mambo monday. Beje tawa na nganzo pena tulo chitana chozo konde vandri chingdo. Lo sumshi nagdo nganzo regme was.
And so if we think about these clothes that we have, that can last for over 100 years. Just the clothes that we're wearing now, the one that you're wearing now, it can last for 3-4 years, right? It will not be toned. You can wear that for 3 years.
Because you have no hard work, you are not going to the outside, to the Karushinga soya down Dugunda.
So you don't have to walk in the field, right? You don't have to go in the forest to chop wood and all these things. So if you're doing that kind of physical work, then maybe your clothes may get turned.
Yeah.
Right?
It's, I'm honest, we just you guys thinking, how many, we call it, jackets or my shirts, my closet, you can think. Everybody has a lot, Sometimes maybe you guys use ones of choice, then leave that, buy now one, then leave that. Therefore, we have not contentment. We follow the attachment. The attachment is, oh, I like that. We buy more. Look like that. There is a choshi that goes. That choshi is a mewana kadina. Tango trying to go more.
So you have to have the contentment. So if you don't have the contentment, and you'll never be happy.
Tenley kadina ta nyumo bango shiwe to ne. Ani suju sem telepandona o ta desho. Ta do ta yanjo tene mo ose kaji koka de tawres.
And so, subduing the mind is going against the delusions. So the mind says, oh, I want to have this, and says, oh, no, you don't need that, You have enough clothes, and you have that, and so forth. So like mind telling you that, and then saying, not following the delusion, So that is what taming the mind is.
But, our mind say, okay, I'll go to the shopping, go to the Marshalls, go to the, we call it, TJ Maxx, go to the, Macy's, then go, he say, oh, I like that. You will buy many, maybe 4, 5, 6, T-shirt things. Then you bring, maybe you wear once. Not just you, everybody, wear once. Then just keep that. Then you clothes be too tight, We have many shoes there, many. Therefore, always try to contentment is very important. Then that, Dipachi Amajashi. Ta rang sem dar se ta tere kanji tini kabla ya ta sum thwa na sang rang sem dar res na to yo.
And so if you're able to avert your mind, from following the attachments, then you have subdued the mind,
Ta de chewa de ka sanji temban zungu yo res ta suzu sem nyomu ga wa ma do sem gebe chola pha je ba de ta sanji temban zam bar rang sem da wa re ta de ko che ba re ge wa da ba res.
So if you are able to do that, then that is the teachings of the Buddha. That's preserving the teachings of the Buddha.
And the Sanjega Nene Chela Tawe Lam Deji Tawa Rala Rale Shibachi Sumare.
And Buddha said, I show you the path to liberation, but you have to understand that liberation depends on your hand.
Today is 아니 산지 가서 말 랍자 자네 가서 때 냠내 치면서 산지 가서 주야 틴도 랍바 틴도 되려 말했어.
So the way to benefit, the way Buddha benefits sentient being is by teaching them the Dharma. There's no other way than that. There's no way Buddha can just hold sentient beings' hand and then lead them, to the state of enlightenment or liberation.
그러봐. 안에 가서 돈은 누가 제일 못지. 레비다가 레비다가 샤금 메셀라. 니지 도바전을 보면 산지 때만 가르 주니 때만 더원지를 또 산지 좀더 권능성 말해서.
So Buddha himself said, that there's no way, he can, wash the sins or the negative karmas, the negativities of the sentient beings, and there is no way he can remove the sufferings of the sentient beings, like you remove thorn from a hand, and there's no way you can transfer his realizations, his knowledge, his abilities, to the sentient beings. The only way he can benefit, is by showing you the path, the correct path, the truth.
먼저 나사 나기나 멤버도 날씨가 가서 매 가래 사고요. 가래 제고요. 자서 말람니. 수저 매 마사나 가서 작으면 돼.
So just like the only way the doctors and nurses can benefit us and help us is by giving us the medicine, by finding out by telling us what our disease is, and then telling us what medicine will cure that disease that we have, right? So, but if from our side, if we didn't take the medicine, if we didn't follow the advices, then there's no way that can be benefited, right?
근데 인자 다 산지에 가서 강 제라베 돼. 제와나 안에 가서 때는데 도구요 그랬어.
So if we follow Buddha's advice, then we will definitely achieve the liberation, that lasting happiness.
그러와. 안에 자와 전문 거 보니 들라만랑 가서 관계질라 산지를 이어레스. 얘나 당가서 리드 사이마도 다 요모이. 맞다듬 될 송아 그랬어.
And so Buddha Maitreya said in his the text or teaching known as Sublime Continuum, says we all have the Buddha nature. So Buddha nature here is the potential to become Buddha. We have the potential, but we're not Buddha. We have the potential, but that potential is not ripened now because it is covered by the delusions.
오케이. 다 들리노 다 산지기 식당기지 냠레마 송샤바다 산지기 제와 내지다 다도 디든도 도스레스.
And so now this is just a brief explanation on the Buddha's teachings and the deeds of the Buddhas.
Okay. Then we stop today here because some people take the precepts. They have to eat the before noon. Then we're going to recite the Om-mani-mani Ma-mani, so 1 mana. So. Then we stop here, okay? Do everybody knows Om-mani-mani? First, I will give you the transmission for that. I got the transmission from His Holiness the Dalai Lama many times. Then first I read, then you repeat me back. Then you got the transmission. Then we repeat couple 1 mala. This we create the merit together. Also, when we do the prayers, pujas, things we do together, the more power. Because more people have the more strong power. Then they make more the top chairs. Powerful teachings. In the monastery, they give the example. There is a chama chiga kesha chama mamanyam the dragman was ter pesha.
So just like a broom, you're familiar with broom, right? You don't use broom here at all, so maybe you don't know what broom is. Just kidding. So usually broom has many, what do you call that, strokes? Stalks? Yeah, the broom, it's many stalks, like made up of, usually we make it out of bamboos, so you have many stalks. So if you have only one piece of bamboo, you sweep with that, it will take forever to sweep. But if you have, many stalks of bamboo together, and you sweep with that, that will sweep in a whole place in a very short time. So creating merit is similar to that. So when you do the virtuous action together with many people, it's like sweeping, with many stalks of bamboos, but if you do by yourself, of course, it's virtuous and it's very good, but it's not that powerful. So it's more powerful when you do it in a group.
Okay. First, I'm going to read, then you can recite, or repeat me 3 times, then we say together, okay? Om mani mani, ma mani, suha. Om mani mani, ma mani, suha. Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Ye Suha Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Ye Suha Om Mane Mane Maha Mane 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 Suha Mane Suha Om Mane Mane Maha 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 Mane Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha 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 Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha Om 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 Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha Mane Maha Mane Suha Om Mane 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 Mane Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha Suha Om Mane Mane Maha Mane Suha Om Mane Suha Om Mane 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 ma mane soha, o mane mane ma mane soha. Mane soha, o mane mane ma mane soha, o mane mane ma mane soha. The meaning of the mantra, they say, we pray for, this is the Buddha Shakyamuni's name mantra. I don't know exactly that, but the deep meaning is that we wish or we pray for our mind, body, speech.
So praying, to achieve the same quality, same quality as Buddha Shakyamuni, the same quality of Buddha's body, speech, and mind of Buddha Shakyamuni.
Okay. Now we do the mantra for the Pema Sambhava. Then I will first give to the children. Ahum. First I will give to you in our transmission, then we recite the, if you have the transmission, then you are more powerful, okay? Ahum. Benzang Guru. Pema. Sudehum. Ahum. Benzang Guru. Pema. Sudehum. Ahum. Benzang Guru. Pema. Sudehum. Ahum Benzang Guru Pema 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 Sudehum. Now we said to Oman Pema, okay? Oman Pema Hum. Oman Pema Hum. Oman Pema Hum. Okay, Oman Pema, 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 Oman Pema. Okay, now we stop. Then we everybody get a very good merit today. Enjoy also whatever today all the world, wherever they're doing that this virtues, whatever countries, then we say enjoy. Then we get the same merit.
Rejoice.
Rejoice. Okay, this is very important. Then we can finish. Okay.
Please turn to page 39 for the next bundle offering. Saji perki juxing meto tram ri rab ling ji ni de yen pa di sangye jing du mi te uwa gi dro kon nam dak jing la chu pa shu je tsun la me ku tse rab ten jing na ka kin le chok chu gi pa dam no san ten pe kun me sa sun gi dro we mun sel ta tu ne gyu chi Idam Guru Ratnam Mandalakam Niryatayami. Tsongkhapa's final lam-rim prayer. From my two collections vast as space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom Maya is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this great completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest paths praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. A short, long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chen Rezig remain in life till samsara's end. Okay, this prayer that spontaneously fulfills all wishes. Tong yi ning je zung du ju pe lam che che zel ze gam tian chen dorgum chag na pe mo tenzin gyatso la so adeb so je dun vundru sho. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tupsul Changxin Jamgun Yelwei Tenzin Kyong Pelwei Kunzo Dokpoze Choksun Kurwei Legmon Tudru Padak Sok Dulje Gundu Jab Ten Shu. Prayer to always meet with perfect teachers. Your form embodies all Buddhas. Your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of the three jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O Protector, to be cared for by you from birth unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O Protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first circle of disciples wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes without exception may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Furthermore, in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even for a moment fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57, dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state rainbow divine. May it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Page 75, makes it off. Mig made say wei ter chen chen resig dream kien pei wan po jam tel yang gan chen ke pei tsu yen Tsongkhapa lo sang drat pe jab la so wan. Yeah. Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Sharon.
The transmission that you gave, does it count for people that were watching online?
Okay, we can come.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Also then if you have 10, now then just since you get to the lab, send us a portal open. You have 10, we get parties, whatever you want, okay? Open the whole day and come back.
Thank you, Geshe. Sharon has a brief announcement about the children's program.
Hi, everyone. You've received a few emails in the contact list that we're trying to put together a children's program. Well, we're getting there, and part of we're sending out a survey this week asking what people can help with. There's some things, it's just simple, you just check it off, and you can add things to it or whatever you'd like. It's a pretty simple survey. You know, we're all here to help each other as a community, and part of this program, for it to be a success, is for everyone to help that comes to the Sunday class, because that's when the program will be offered, on Sunday mornings while we're in class. So we're asking, even if you do or don't have children, if you can put things down that you can help with, it will be helpful, because we would like to have at least 2 adults in the room at all times, because we're going to have 2 different groups of kids, 0 to 4 and then 4 to 12 for different groups. And we'd like to have 2 to 4 people actually in the room. And what we want to do is every 6 to 8 weeks have every week different people in the room, and maybe start again every 6 or 8 weeks. So we're asking for everybody to kind of pitch in and help for this program, because if it starts with us, the world will change. You know, if it starts with us and with ourselves, and we start with the next generation, things will change. And it has to start within. So we're asking for everybody to help in every way they can. If you play the guitar or something and do music, we want to do music in the room with the kids. You know, if you can come in for 15 minutes a week here and there, it'll be great. If you can help serve a snack a week, if you can help supply snacks. And if anybody has any toys for 0 to 3 that you can donate because you're cleaning out because it's Christmas time, 0 to 4, we'd be willing to take them, and art supplies. And we're planning on doing the 16 guidelines curriculum, that's FPMT curriculum out of North Carolina with the children. So if there's any questions, just email the Kurukulla Children's Program, and we'll get back to you. Thank you.
We have more announcements, but Geshe, there's lots of announcements, so maybe you can go and we'll stay after and leave and do what else. My name is Deborah. If I haven't met you yet, and I've been asked to make a few announcements. We have a visiting teacher, very special, coming this December. Venerable Robina Corton will be here for 2 weeks, starting approximately December 20th. So watch out for the schedule of her events. She's a very exciting and dynamic teacher, and always, not controversial, but on the edge of being controversial sometimes. So she definitely inspires people to practice and really look at, applying Buddhist teachings to your life. Also, besides volunteers for children's program, we also need volunteers for website design. We're going to redo our website. If you have any skills in that area, technical skills, graphic design, a good writer, please contact program at